Can cash payments help high school kids from poor families escape poverty? They're trying to find out right now in Memphis, Tennessee. Taxpayer money and money donated by former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg are going in to fund this program. Here's how it works for these high school students from poor families in Memphis. They are paying the kids and their parents primarily for their performance at school. For example, a student who has an acceptable attendance record gets $40 a month. If they go for an annual dentist checkup or a medical checkup, that's a $100 check. They get paid for their grades. The kids get $30 for every A, $20 for every B, $10 for every C. If they take a college entrance exam like the ACT, they get a $50 check. The parents get cash as well in this program. Parents, if they have a full-time job, for example, get a bonus of $150 a month in this program. The mayor of Memphis, A.C. Wharton, is a major proponent of this. He's very glad to be getting the taxpayer money and the money from former Mayor Bloomberg, plus Memphis is chipping in local money. And he believes this will be one of the keys to helping these kids from low-income families rise out of poverty and break a devastating cycle in these low-income homes.
No 16-year-old boy wants to ride a little tiny bike with training wheels on it. Learning to ride, he relishes those training wheels. Most of them see this program as the training wheels that are going to get them on a track to a better life. Memphis Family Rewards Program is based in part on the realization that the present programs we have are not really accomplishing what we'd expected. We've seen that it does not work simply by saying, here's a check. People really want to feel productive, that they earned what it is that they're getting.
He says that is a key. They are earning this cash by showing up to school, going to the dentist, making good grades. Gwen Price is the person who runs this program in Memphis.
With the children, if they attended school 90% of the time, they receive a monthly reward. They also receive rewards for their grades. They either had to be on food stamps or Families First. And they considered these people to be, in poverty or have at poverty level. It's a sense of pride. They may have been going to school to receive that $40. And now we have children that are applying for college.
Listen, I'm not for this, giving just cash for doing things that parents should be doing every stinking day. The only way I could go along with this in Memphis, if you put this in some type of fund, and when those kids successfully graduate from high school, have this fund for junior college or college. But I don't believe in rewarding parents for doing the basics function of being a parent.
$100 for taking your kid to the dentist?
Yes.
That's the one part that really makes my hair on fire. It's free. These low-income families can take their kids to get dental work for free.
Ed, some others have raised your point, but the proponents of this say the kids need immediate rewards. If they get a good grade, they need some kind of positive reinforcement. Here's one of the students in Memphis who is in this program, and she says it is important to get paid cash as soon as they earn good grades or do one of these other things that's on their list. And that enables them to go out and do things with the cash.
If I have good grades, I get money so I could get shoes or go out to eat and get my nails did and stuff.
Get my nails did and stuff.
Whoa.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Get my nails did and stuff. Listen.
Well, what if it works? What if they do go on to be a success?
This isn't the first time this has happened. We've heard cash rewards for good grades, and I haven't heard any real bell-ringing success stories out of it. I really haven't.
This story on Politico.com says this is a more elaborate program than some of the ones you're citing. And you're right. We've heard this before, but this is a more complex, more elaborate system for providing cash rewards to the kids and their parents.
As a parent, I've known a lot of parents that give cash rewards for their kids for doing chores, cash rewards for making good grades, and if the parents can't afford it, I do like the idea that if you have a job and you're working, we'll kind of give you a little extra cash so it can help with different things. I think that's the way welfare should have been done all along, that you work for your welfare.
But just to have cash outlays for making a B, I don't believe that's really good. Having given somebody cash, if those kids could recognize there's light at the end of the tunnel there when they get out of high school, and they're going to have a cachet of money to go to college.
This is Diamond Wilson. She's one of the students in Memphis who is earning cash.
At first I went studying stuff, but now I study more. When I grow up and get a job, I got to work for the money. That's what it taught me, to work in school.
All right.
Good. That's good to
That's
learn.
an
Work in
important
school.
lesson. Yeah. This is Kathy in Bastrop on KLBJ 823. Hello, Kathy. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hey, how about you make good grades or you get your butt whipped, just like I did when I was a kid, or you get grounded?
Well, you know, that does
Oh
have an
my
effect.
gosh.
It does. Because, you know, in real life, you don't do your work, you get fired, or you get disciplined. You know,
I'm not-
I mean,
Exactly.
life isn't
I don't
always
think
a
I
reward.
can go along, Kathy, with physically, spanking your kids just because they don't get good grades. Because
Used to happen a
sometimes
lot.
Oh, for Pete's sake, I got my butt whipped when I was a kid. And
All
I
kids
grew
are
up
not
to be
alike,
a
Kathy.
wonderful-
Bitter talk.
well, great.
Oh.
What happened to you, Kathy? What was that?
It's like if I didn't make good grades, I got my butt whipped or I got grounded. There was no pay.
Sure,
didn't
I don't
get
believe-
paid. I don't get paid for doing what is expected of me.
Well, my
That's
point is to
ridiculous.
get your butt whipped. I think they're different kids with different abilities, Kathy. Some kids are
Whatever works.
academically
I grew up-
inclined.
I grew
Some
up-
kids are
I
not
grew up in the
academically
70s.
inclined.
I grew up in the 70s where, you people don't call CPS when you whip your kid's butt. It's gotten out of hand.
All right, Kathy, thanks. Let's go to 360. Sean, you're on KLBJ. Hello, Sean.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I'm in complete agreement with that. I think this is a terrible idea. It sets a bad precedent that you should be paid and rewarded for doing what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
And like you said, Mark, kids, they want instant gratification. Well, they need to learn that life doesn't always give you instant gratification. And my job, sometimes it takes several months of hard work on my part to get the reward in. I don't get a reward just because I did this one part today that I was supposed to do.
Well-
And I think it sets bad precedent for these kids. They grow up expecting that,
Yeah.
well, I did this, so I should be rewarded. Well, you're supposed to do that.
What about the mayor's point, though? And he says he's been involved in this kind of project since the 70s, and this is the first time that gives him real hope that they can break the cycle of poverty.
We'll see. You know, I'm all for anything that will break the cycle of poverty and get kids to work.
I'm not for this.
Get kids out of school. I'm not for paying parents for doing what they should do.